All right, what do we have for you today? Well, let's find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a while since we've done an actual shooting video, and I apologize, but not making excuses, but I've been working 6 days a week for the last few months and really haven't had much time off. Plus, with the ammo shortage, I'm trying to make shooting videos actually count. But I've been thinking about this one for a while. As I've said in the past, and kind of the point of this channel is to help new gun owners make choices and maybe help themselves save some money. So, since I haven't shot for quite a while, and we're still in the middle of the ammo crunch, I wanted to pose kind of a scenario for you guys. So let's say you've purchased your first gun, which is a full size for home defense, or you're looking to purchase your first carry gun. And so we'll talk about some of the costs, that sort of thing, but maybe some of the process. So with ammo running anywhere $25 to $30 to $35, some places more, some places less per box, and a lot of places you go have a limit of 2 boxes. The scenario I want to talk about is the person who goes to a gun store that has a range that chooses to rent some firearms. They've narrowed it down to a few choices, but they won't actually shoot them. But with the limitations, you can only buy 2 boxes of ammo. One of those you want to be defensive ammo or hollow points, and one you want range ammo to actually test the guns with. And you've rented 3 guns. So with the limit of 100 rounds, plus you want to save some back for like the hollow points for protection, how are you going to accomplish that? With the cost involved, let's say it's roughly $30 a box, or even $25 a box. Let's go with that with prices right now. So now you're trying to make that decision on limited ammo. You've already spent $50 on ammo just to get something to test it with. You're going to rent the gun, which gun ranges, let's say it's $10 per gun. So now you got 30. So now you're up to $80. And now you have your range fees, which are going to be, let's just round and say that's $20. So before you even spent $1 on the gun that you want to choose, you've now spent $100 to be able to try to make that decision. So we're going to go with that scenario today. Again, for kind of simulate what it would be for a new gun owner going to a gun store. And for our purposes, we've narrowed it down to 3 choices, all from Sig Sauer. I was able to borrow some guns from friends today in addition to my own carry gun. But I thought it'd be a good scenario. And again, since I haven't shot, especially this gun, in a few months, I'm rusty. And then I'm unfamiliar with guns. On top of that, we are going to be shooting ammo today that I have never shot. I mean, so what we have is Federal 124 grain full metal jacket for the target ammo. I've never shot that particular round before. And then I am a little bit familiar with its Sig V Crown for the hollow points, which I know can be finicky in a few guns. So the choices we have for you today, let's start off with my personal carry gun. And all these firearms are safe, just so you know. But here is my Sig P938. And this is a very small 9mm handgun. Handles 7+1. So not the highest capacity in the world, but it is a gun that I really like. It's hammer fired. We're not going to get into all the specifics of it, but this is one of the choices that, let's say you narrowed it down, but it's a good size for carry. The next, by progression, is the new Sig P365, which size-wise, and there's nobody on the other side of the camera, but you can see, so they're about the, well, actually the 938's a little bit shorter, and without flagging myself, if you can see that, the grip handles are about the same size. Now the difference is going to be between these two. This holds 10+1, and this is 7+1. But they're about the same form factor. This is hammer fired, this is striker fired. So those are 2 of our choices today. We also have a little bit larger. This is the P365 as well, but this is the XL for something different. Now, by comparison, these 2 guns, this was about a ½ inch longer, and it's got a longer grip. Now this holds 12+1. Longer sight radius. Both of them have night sights. Trigger has got a curved trigger shoe on this one, flat trigger shoe on this one. And then this does have a Hogue grip sleeve on it. That's the person who owns this put that on to make it feel a bit better. And this one is optics ready. But I think we've got 3 good choices. Granted, they're all SIGs, but that someone might choose in a gun store to rent to see if they like them, especially if they're SIG fans already. So we are going to cut over to the desk and take a little bit closer look at these, but mainly we're going to go out to the range and shoot them and just see what the results are, and then we'll talk about it when we're done. Alright guys, so this isn't a full-on tabletop review, but I just wanted to show you the 3 guns a little bit closer up. So to start with, on the top left, what we have is the normal P365. So this is the standard 3-inch version of it. And then the next one we're going to have here for you is the 365xl. So a little bit larger, a little bit longer. Let's get that focus for you. Longer slide, longer grip, and it has, I will tell you, it's got this Hogue grip sleeve on it that I tell you, for me personally, it feels better in the hand. It just locks up a little bit better. Sights are about the same. They're slightly different. This is optics ready compared to this one is not optics ready, and you can see there's a bit of a difference in the rear sights, but the front sights are the same, roughly the same sight picture. They are both night sights. So let's get those out of the way. And then the oddball, still a SIG, but this is, sorry, I have the camera there. This is the P938, again with the Hogue grip sleeve. This does have a laser on it. It just came that way. I bought it used. Don't really care about that, but a little bit different sight picture on it. These are night sights as well, and hammer fired. So that's a little bit of a close-up as far as the guns go, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and see the results. So I just wanted to show you a little bit more up close what they look like. All right, guys. All right, P365 Full Metal Jacket. Little jumpy there. Hollow plates. .365xl Full Metal Jacket. And the hollow points. P938 Full Metal Jacket. And the P938 hollow points. Alright, so we are back at the house, and just wanted to show you the results. I purposely did not look at the targets while we were there. Number one, the range was a little bit busy. Number two, I just wanted to do it more of a controlled environment back here. And just to remind you, so when in doing this, I kind of waited a while to do this because I have not been able to get out and shoot very much, and I used unfamiliar ammo to me just to, as closely as I could, simulate what maybe a new gun owner would go through going to try these guns for the first time. So with all that said, let's just kind of look at the results. So again, these first targets are with the normal SIG P365. You can see that. So this is the standard form factor of this one. It's the shortest version. That target will start off with, this is the Full Metal Jacket target. This is that 124 grain Federal. Not a great group. I don't shoot these small guns a lot, and it kind of shows. All well within self-defense, these would be center mass, but you can see there's a fairly good spread with this one. So there's that one. Same gun with the hollow points. About the same result. I mean, all well within self-defense, would all do the job, but it's not the greatest pattern that I could have done. I fully admit that. So, let's move on next to the 365xl. The reason I chose this one is the longer sight radius, longer grip, and that Hogue grip sleeve should have a little more control with it. Should. So, let's look at, same thing, let's look at the hollow point. This is the Full Metal Jacket. A lot better group with this one, if you can see that. It's a lot tighter group. So I think between the two, at least in my hands, the combination of that grip sleeve and the bigger grip and the longer sight radius produced a tighter group. Now, same thing. Now, this is the hollow points. It's spread a little bit. Now, these are 115 grain. Again, brand new gun to me, just like someone else who hadn't tried it before. But overall, it is a better group than we got with the standard 365. So it's leaning me towards the XL over the 365, at least control-wise. Now let's look at the smallest gun that we looked at, that we used for an example, which is the P938. And granted, yes, this is my gun. I've had it for a while, but honestly, it's like I said in the intro, it's been about 3 months since I've even fired a round through that, which just shows me I need to shoot my carry guns more often. I've been shooting larger guns lately. But let's look at the results on that one. So here is the Full Metal Jacket group. So tighter group up here, shot a little high, had one flyer down here. I kind of attribute the tighter group overall, though. This is basically a baby 1911, which is why I like it. I like 1911s. Trigger's much better on it, in my opinion, than the other two, but still not the greatest group in the world. And then here is with the hollow points. So better than I would say this is better than I did with the normal 365. So let's look at the two targets. In this scenario, for me personally, I'm going to be eliminating the normal P365 here. So that one, if I was at the gun range as new owner, that one would be off to the side. I would probably rule that one out for me now. Between the two that are left, now I got to look at form factor, how easy to conceal, how well did I shoot with it. So let's compare the Full Metal Jacket two targets. And this is the XL. And this is the 938. So, flyer aside, I mean, the groupings are fairly close. I think there was a little flyer here, but if you look at them, try to not cover that up. It's kind of a toss-up for me. So let's look at the hollow point targets. And overall, this one here is the 365xl, and then here is the P938. They're pretty close, but in my hands, I've got to give at least the grouping to the 938, and that might be because I have a little more experience with it. They're both great guns. So I don't know, it'd be a toss-up between these two. I almost want them both, to be honest with you. Obviously this is mine, I'm going to keep this. This is a great option for pocket carry. So I really like this one. I like the trigger better. And then the 365xl is great. Here, now I have a little more experience than a brand new shooter does. And between the two, even though personally I like the 938 better, I'm probably going to recommend the 365 line to a new shooter. And the reason why would be, this is striker fired. So, and these guns are cleared, but there's no safeties on these guns. The safety is purely the trigger on this. It's got the heavier trigger pull. There's less to manipulate. Because of that, it's going to be, in a pinch, it's going to be easier to use for a new shooter. And because for a new shooter with this one, and again, this is clear, but whereas this is striker fired, if you're going to carry one in the chamber, this does have a safety on it. You're going to carry a cocked lock with the safety. So when you go up to present, as you bring up, you also have to bring, I don't know if you heard that click or not, you have to bring that safety down to be able to in turn fire. For a brand new shooter, they may not have the confidence with that as they would with simply bringing it up. Not as quite as good a trigger press, but slow, steady, safe trigger release is going to get the job done. So in the end, while they're all three good guns, I personally, my favorite is still the 938. But for the new shooter, I'm probably going to recommend the P365xl or the X, or excuse me, or the standard size, and kind of go from there. So take that for what you will. Those are just my results. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you do, I hope you continue to watch videos from the channel. If you do, hit that share button, like it, subscribe, and I hope to see you on future videos. All right, guys, shoot safe.